Now to look at the result of the elections and their impact is Mike Montesano, the visiting research fellow at the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies in Singapore. Many thanks for joining us this Monday morning, Mike. If I can ask you first of all your reaction to this, are you surprised by what seems like a landslide victory?
I'm not entirely surprised. It had looked good for the Pheu Thai party in recent weeks, and sure enough, we have an election that looks very good for the party.
So overall, I mean, what do you see as this sort of, as it develops again? Will Thaksin come back, do you think, to the country?
Well, I think that Thaksin is wise to say that he's only going to come back after a certain interval. There are many things that need to be addressed, both in terms of getting this government on the right track and in thinking about the terms under which he will come back. If Pheu Thai plans to use some sort of amnesty to bring Thaksin back, Pheu Thai will need to frame that amnesty in legal terms in a way that makes it sound. In addition, Pheu Thai will be very wise to take the temperature of Thailand's politics to gauge the vehemence of its opponents' opposition to Thaksin's return.
Do you think, I asked you at the beginning again, are you surprised, but do you think it's the best result for the country, already clearly gripped by uncertainty?
The best result for Thailand is to hold a free and fair election whose results are honored. This has been a difficulty for Thailand going back to 2006. If the results of this election are honored, and if the Pheu Thai party is allowed to govern with the majority that is won in free and fair elections, that's progress for Thailand. That will leave many other issues to be addressed, but if this government can have its way, if this government is opposed by the Democrats in a constructive manner, as Prime Minister Apisit promised yesterday, then that's good for Thailand.
Do you think then, therefore, based on a fair election, it was a vote for the Red Shorts, or was it a vote against the current government?
This is a vote that confirms the country that Thailand has become. It confirms ideas about participation and stakeholdership in the Thai nation that have been abroad for many years now. The outgoing government denied the realities of what Thailand has become, and they have suffered the consequences at the polls. Thaksin, for better or worse, was able a decade ago to align his party's goals with the sort of country that Thailand has become, and he and now his sister have benefited at the polls because they have a better sense of what the country is.
How does this now then therefore play out in the next few weeks, months? Because there are many forces out there at play, some not so great, for example, underneath all of this. I mean, how do the next 2 months look, do you think, in your opinion?
This is the important thing to focus on. There is a series of dynamics that are going to need to be worked out. One of these is Yingluck's relationship with her brother on a daily basis. Who's really running the government? Another is Yingluck's relationship with the rest of her party and with any coalition partner that she brings into government with her. Then there's the question of the military, the question of the palace, the question of the media. Many of these dynamics are going to need to be hammered out, and I think all of us ought to be paying attention to each of these dynamics to see the way that this government begins to get on track in those terms.
Now, on that question you just mentioned again, if she forms a coalition, who are the best partners for her, do you think? Or the wisest partners?
Well, she said yesterday that she's been talking to Chat Thai Patana Party. The real issue is that any coalition partner that goes into government with Pheu Thai at this point will be interested above all in spoils. And the politics of spoils will give Apisit's Democrat Party a pretext to criticize the government for corruption. So that's one of these many dynamics we need to look at. The Democrats have, while in opposition, in the past proved very deft at uncovering scandals in governments. And bringing in a coalition partner, while it may stabilize the government, will give the Democrats an opening to criticize any Yingluck government for malfeasance.
But it would seem from what you're saying that over all of this, that Thailand is now seems to be back on the best track to reinvigorate the country.
Well, this is the next step that needed to be taken to get Thailand on the right track. There are many steps ahead, and the country is bitterly divided. In many ways, the campaign for this election yesterday has only deepened divisions in the country. So while this election is a good move, while it takes Thailand in the right direction, it doesn't heal divisions in any fundamental way. And we need to bear in mind that many in Thailand are interested in a serious investigation of what happened last March, April, May on the streets of Bangkok. They think that truth is a pretext to reconciliation, and looking into the truth of the military's conduct, of the conduct of other parties in Thai politics during the events of last March, April, May last year will be a very, very tricky business.
Mike, thanks for your time this morning. Mike Montesano, the visiting research fellow at ISEAS. Thanks, Mike, for your time.